that confidence is quite surprising considering you challenged Robbie and lost.
And we're back. I've got the influencer to my right.
Finish. Easy. Slight.
And we've got the fan to my left.
1-1.
They're going to go up against me.
Lucky.
Baby, babe! Bleh!
Hi and welcome along to AFTV. This tonight is an all guns blazing special where we are going to be talking about Mikel Arteta. We're going to be talking about Arsenal, what's happening, what's going on. And joining me to discuss that tonight is Mr. DT. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, considering.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Why are you wearing the same thing I'm wearing?
It's
Get the memo, bro. What's that?
No, it's bring your dad to work day.
Bring your dad to work day. You're funny. By the way, I know you got a ticket to go to the game on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Now London's moved into Tier 3.
Yeah.
Does that affect the game? Does that affect you going?
Yeah, they sent an email already to say that they are no longer bringing fans back into the stadium. Personally, I think they probably watched the watch-along yesterday, saw my reaction, and contacted Boris and said, please put us in lockdown before DT comes in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, I don't get to go to the Emirates. Looks like you're going to have to put up with me for another evening, mate.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, where do we start? I'm sure you, like me, have been getting it all day, left, right, and centre from different fans. But not just that. I'm sure you, like me, has been in discussion all day long with fellow Arsenal fans about how we've got to this situation. First of all, sum up for me the game yesterday.
I would say in the first half, there were a couple of good moments in there. The Lacazette chance was a real big chance. The moment when I think it was Aubameyang went to do the back flick to Saka, but it was too long. So we kind of was in and around their area, and I don't feel that apart from the one opportunity that they had, a big opportunity from Woods, we were threatened in any way, shape or form. And then for 10, 15 minutes of the second half, we came out and we were out of the traps. We were playing exactly how we've been asking us to play. We were being aggressive. We were on the front foot. We were creating multiple chances. The goalkeeper was making multiple saves. And we were all sitting there and saying, a goal's coming in a minute. A goal's coming, because there was no let up on the pressure. It was relentless 10, 15 minutes of solid pressure and good opportunities. And something was clearly said at half time. I thought, right, this is good. It's a different kind of, way of playing. It's a different mindset. Mikel's got into them. We'll get the victory. This is what I like to see. And then Granit Xhaka went and ruined everything. Completely and utterly ruined everything. There's no excusing it. There's no getting away from it. I know at the time you were quite, I'd say, I don't really want to say that you was adamant, but you was sure that you felt it wasn't really a red and he didn't do too much wrong. And I don't know what your actual opinion on it is now, but
it was a red, definite red. I mean, at the time, I thought yellow card will do, but at the end of the day, we all know the rules. Raise your hand like that, and then when I looked back on it the second time, he was very aggressive with the way he went. You know
that players push and shove each other, and if he kind of pushed him in this area and tried to move him away, you could get away with that in a sense, to say that he was just trying to push him out of his. But like you said, it was aggressive. You look at the venom on his face and how he squeezed as well. There's no excusing it. No excusing it in any way, shape, or form. And that, for me, completely changed the whole complexion of the game. And I know people will, you know, and this is where I do agree in a sense that Mikel picked him. You know, that is the one thing that you can hold the manager accountable for, which is picking Granit Xhaka. But I said to you very clearly before the start of the game that the players that he's put in so much trust in, they're either going to get him out of this mess or they're going to end up being the reason why he, you know, gets sacked. And that kind of reaction and, you know, what Granit Xhaka did would ultimately be the reason why Mikel Arteta fails. You know, you look at the overall performance of Hector Bellerin. Does that look like a player that's saying to himself, you know what, I really need to step up. My performances have not been good enough. I don't like myself the way that I've done certain things. I need to really go out there and prove to everybody that I'm the right man for this job. I should be here. Nah, not in any way, shape or form did Hector Bellerin show me anything other than that he should not be anywhere near this team. I don't think he should even be in the squad. I think Cedric should be given an opportunity at right back and Maitland-Niles.
He's going to get that now, isn't he?
Well, yeah, he's got at least 1 game suspension. Do you know what I mean? So at least somebody was looking down on us last night. Because you're going to have Granit out for 3 games and Hector for 1. I have actually contacted the FA and asked if you can have a 3-game suspension for 5 yellow cards. So hopefully Hector can have a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? It's so annoying because this is the thing, Robbie, and I'll try and say to you for the start of that second half, and I'm not clutching. We were really, really good at the start of the second half and we were creating so many chances. And I'm adamant that if Granit Xhaka never did that, we would have won that game. All day.
Yeah, but are you? I mean, yeah, we created a lot of chances, but, you know, apart from the one I'd say that Lacazette, that was the one that you would have thought maybe you should have buried that one. But did we have it? You know, again, I didn't see enough pattern of play around the box. I didn't see overlapping runs. I didn't, you know, it was that hit the ball into the box and let's hope that somebody gets on the end of it or a second ball drops somewhere.
I get what you're saying in that sense. But in the second half, there was a pattern to it because the crosses were meeting the target. Do you know what I mean? This is why we created chances. We were doing cutbacks, crosses. You know, you remember the cutback for Kieran Tierney and he hit it low and Pope saved it. There was the cutback for Saka when he let it go across his body and hit it with his left foot and Pope tipped it wide for a corner. They're 2 that I can think of off the top of my head instantly. We had chances. We created. The passage of play in the second half was really good. And we weren't just aimlessly putting balls in the box. We were actually picking our men and our targets, and there was runners. You look at the Tierney situation that I just said. He's a left back, and he done a link up, and I can't remember who cut it back. It might have been Aubameyang actually. So there was a pattern of play because I remember at the time we turned around and said that was the wrong way round. You wished it was Tierney crossing for Aubameyang, sort of thing. But yeah, I get what you're saying in the first half. The one real good piece of movement was the Lacazette opportunity. Brilliant play, good cross, purpose. And then, yeah, the game gets turned on its head by the sending off.
DT, the question we have to ask is this manager up for it? Right? He's breaking all kind of records right now. Last season, we finished 8th, our worst ever finish in the Premier League. This season, we're in 15th place. We've just lost 4 home games on the bounce. We lost to Burnley. Burnley hadn't won ever at the Emirates. Burnley had only won 1 game this season. They'd only scored 5 goals. We somehow managed to let them beat us. And we are now, right now, we are in relegation trouble. We're 5 points above the relegation zone. Is this job too big for this guy?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Why do you say that?
I do genuinely believe that the board are going to stick with him and they're going to allow him to get out the players that he wants out and bring in what he needs. And again, I go back to the point in saying last night, 7 of the starting 11 were Arsene Wenger players. 7.
He picked them.
Yep. No. But Robbie, some of them you've got to pick. You've got to. The ones that I will question will be Hector Bellerin and Granit Xhaka. All right. But Lacazette, you can see why he played him. Aubameyang, he's probably the only exception out of the 7 because he came right at the end of the Arsene Wenger reign. 2 of them were Unai Emery signings and 2 of them were Mikel Arteta signings. There's a lot of rotten apples in this dressing room. Big time. There's people leaking stuff to the press on purpose, and it's done through the players and the agents. I know for a fact stuff gets leaked out of the dressing rooms because I know some of it. It's ridiculous what goes on. And the biggest problem that Mikel had, and he's had this problem all along, and Unai Emery had this same problem, and Arsene Wenger towards the end of his tenure had the same problem as well, is that when they brought in all these experienced players, should we say, the older age players, these are kind of players that you can't lay down the rules to because they're so long in the tooth. They're like, I've been here, I've been there, I've won this, I've won that. I don't need to, be spoken to or act like, like I'm a child, like I'm like a novice or whatever it might be. Mikel Arteta came into the club, knew clearly that there was a problem because one thing that, if you remember, do you remember Freddie Ljungberg's last game before Arteta took over and it was Everton away? And do you remember all the experienced players and the ones that normally play and everything else were all kicked out of the side and he went with loads of youngsters in that last game? Freddie had the right idea because he could see what was actually going on and he saw on a regular basis what was going on. Mikel's obviously come into the club and said, right, I'm laying down the rules. This is that, non-negotiables, whatever it might be. You players have all got to play for your places. You've got to fight to play in the team. And a lot of these experienced players went, no, I don't have to fight for my place in the team. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. Who's this guy coming in? And it's at what point, Robbie, do you stop blaming managers and start blaming players? Because this is the 4th manager that the majority of this squad have played under. Mikel Arteta made it very clear in the summer that he wanted to rip this squad apart and he wanted to get rid of so many players. But the majority of them, they're living in London. They're very comfortable. They're on ridiculously stupid wages, which is not his fault. And they're not going anywhere. And he can't.
All right. What do you say to this? What this guy here says, Bell Ring at 88. He says Xhaka was on his way out of the door until Arteta gave him a second chance. Arteta couldn't run a bath, let alone Arsenal Football Club. He says Arteta out. He makes a good point there. Xhaka, remember we had the old incident, yet another one with Xhaka, where he stormed off the pitch with the fans and stuff like that. And at that time, a lot of people were saying, get rid of Xhaka. Hertha Berlin wanted Xhaka. Remember that. Hertha Berlin wanted Xhaka. They were prepared to sign him. Mikel Arteta turned around and said, no. This is my guy. I want to keep him here. I think he's a very important person in the team and blah, blah, blah. This is the same guy that let him down yesterday. Now, you can't blame that on Wenger.
You want me to?
He could have got rid of the guy, but he
want me to answer
keep
it?
him.
Do you want me to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, Bell Ringer, change Ringer to End, and you got the perfect name. Right? Now. You hate doing live shows for me, man, because you never know what's coming out of my mouth. But no, listen, Mikel Arteta had literally been there about a week or so, right? The one thing he didn't want to do at that time was lose some experience within the squad. He looked at the situation and said, can I keep him here? Can he be of use to me? He'd been in the job a week, so he needed some experience around him. He made that decision. And let's be honest with it. Let's be real. Wait, let's be real about it, Robbie. For the remainder of last season, Granit Xhaka was one of our best players under Mikel Arteta. Fact. Simple facts. He was. There was nobody saying that it was the wrong thing to have kept him when he was in the midfield starring against Manchester City and Chelsea, etc. Nobody. So it's very easy to pick it out now.
Yeah, but even you said yesterday, right,
yes,
that he shouldn't be playing. You were upset when the team came out. You were upset, right, that he was playing. I'm saying you can't. Mikel Arteta, hold on, Mikel Arteta can't turn around and say, "Oh, he's Wenger's players" and blah blah blah. When he had the opportunity to get rid of the guy, and he chose to keep him.
I've just explained.
He chose to keep him.
Robbie, I just explained to you the reason why he would have kept him, and it was the right thing to have done at that time. And then on top of that, he ended up being one of our best players of last season. So it was completely right, and it proved Mikel Arteta right to make that decision. Now we go into this season, and the old Granit Xhaka has resurfaced. The slow, the petulant.
He's always been slow.
No. But I mean, did you notice last season he wasn't getting caught out on the ball as much? He was actually releasing the ball quicker. He was doing things differently. And he was actually playing really well. But now he's getting caught out. He's getting spun all the time. It's like what you saw from a couple of years ago. And the other thing as well, have you noticed he ain't come out and given an apology for yesterday yet?
We've seen that before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. That's the other thing. And this is
nobody's fault. Remember that? It was everybody else's fault. You know what I mean? On social media, it was,
Robbie, listen, this is the thing, yeah? I've backed him more than anyone. So if I want to go in on him, I will. Because nobody can say anything. It ain't an agenda or whatever it might be. The fact is that wasn't really an apology when he did what he did. It was kind of save face a little bit. But it was at the same time trying to say like, yeah, well, I've kind of got to do this, but I'm not really sorry. And then he ended up, changing his fortunes and everything. Everyone was thinking, yeah, you know what, give him another chance and all that. And like I said, his performance warranted Mikel Arteta keeping him at the club. They warranted it. All right. And then if you go to the Hector Bellerin situation, there's no way he was going to get rid of him at the period of when he came in. He'd just come back from his ACL, and everybody was constantly like, give Hector an opportunity.
He could have got rid of him in the summer.
He could have.
There was clubs interested in Hector Bellerin. He stuck by him.
But again, Robbie, I will go back to the point of last season. Under the games that Hector Bellerin had played under Mikel Arteta for the remainder of last season, he was actually playing well. There was still some bad moments here or there, but he was actually doing the right things.
Yeah, but the thing is about it, he was getting the best out of some of these players, but he knows that they're not good enough. Right? So you can't turn around now and start saying, Wenger and stuff like that. He decided to keep. I mean, I today, I was chatting to a friend of mine, right? And I was saying to him, some of these, I picked out 10 decisions that Mikel Arteta's made that's backfired on him, right? Keeping Xhaka, that's one. Bombing out Ozil. Bombing out Guendouzi. Playing Bellerin. Buying Willian, right? His handling of Pepe. Bombing out Saliba. New contract for David Luiz, who apparently now has fallen out with him and, they're not even talking to each other. Selling Emi Martinez. Trying to extend Mustafi's contract, and then you could even throw in an 11 in that, where you could say keeping El Neni. That's another one. Now, these are his decisions. You're the manager. You're in charge.
Right.
I know that there's a lot of players in that team that are not good enough, but your job is to manage them. Your job is to manage them. All these leaks and everything and that's coming out suggests to me that he's lost the dressing room.
No, it's certain people within the dressing room that are actually trying to dictate what actually happens at this football club, and people need to actually wake up and realise what they're up to. The other thing, the other thing is a load of those points, are so misleading in a sense that Emi Martinez made it very clear that he wanted to leave. Not Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta could not guarantee him the number one spot. Rightly so. You cannot. Yes, you cannot. Robbie, you cannot turn around to a player and say, yeah, that's your spot. You're going to have it. All right. He still had only played 10 games. You couldn't be guaranteeing him the now #1 of Arsenal Football Club. You couldn't guarantee it. Emi Martinez had said all these great things on social media about, you know, staying and money wasn't an object or anything else, yeah? But the moment he never got what he wanted, he was like, well, I'm going to go. Aston Villa are interested and I'm out of the door. So that's the first one. Then you bring up the, what were the 10 again? Go through them for me again, please, quickly.
All right. I'll go. Sorry, let me just open my phone up again.
I know the Granit Xhaka
we've already done, yeah?
Yeah, and Bellerin, we've already done that.
Bellerin. Bombing out Ozil. Out of the squad.
Right,
out of the squad.
Wait. Fully justifiable. And if you knew what was going on behind the scenes, then you would agree.
Here we go again.
Fully justifiable. And let's be honest.
Going on behind the scenes
let's also remember something as well, Robbie, is that when Mesut Ozil was playing, we had a better win percentage ratio than when he wasn't playing.
We weren't 15th.
No,
we weren't 15th, and we created a lot more.
It doesn't. Listen, it's not because of Mesut Ozil why we're not out of 15th or where we are, whatever it is.
Do you think Mesut Ozil would create more than what we're seeing at the moment?
Probably not, because he wasn't creating a lot anyway. He wasn't.
He's creating more than what I see now.
He had 1 assist.
He's creating a lot more than what I see now.
No, the only thing he's creating is trouble on social media. Who was the next person?
Right. Bombing out Guendouzi.
Right. Fully justifiable. 100% agree with the manager on that.
Completely out of the club. Completely out.
Wait
a minute, 1 second.
No, I'm in the middle of hold on. No, you do this. Don't even try it, Robbie. You're lucky I'm not sat next to you. You do this all the time, yeah? You ask me something. I'm in the middle of answering it, and you go, wait, hold on. Let me say, I will answer it if you shush. Right.
Answer.
Guendouzi, petulant under Unai Emery, petulant the moment that Mikel Arteta had joined the club when we went away to Dubai and he was dropped for the subsequent game against Newcastle. Then he was petulant for his behaviour at Brighton. He was not bombed out of the club. He was given a very, very simple opportunity. You apologise for your actions and you can come back into the squad. Guendouzi refused to apologise. So at what point the manager and the club have laid down the law and they've said, your actions are not acceptable. You need to apologise for your actions and you can come back within the squad. The moment Guendouzi refuses, how can you possibly expect the club to back down and say, yeah, you know what? Actually, you don't have to apologise. We'll let you come back. The moment you do that is the moment you literally just bow down to all of their demands. Fully right.
Off your nose to spite your face.
Fully right. Right. He's a 19-year-old boy that was trying to actually
discipline the guy. Did you have to bomb him out of the club? Apologise. Be a man and apologise. Yeah, be a man and apologise. Next one is handling of Pepe.
What about the handling of Pepe?
Oh, well, let's just go back to the difference between how he handled the Pepe sending off, for instance, and the Xhaka sending off.
See, apparently, this is the thing. I still haven't seen last night's press conference yet. And people are saying...
Surprise.
Well, no, I've been busy, Robbie. Sorry, mate.
Oh, yeah.
People have been saying...
Busy enough you saw everything else, but you didn't...
People have been saying that Arteta turned around and said that it was worse than Pepe. So he has condemned it.
Yeah, but he had to be prompted and everything. He was quick to call out Pepe on that. He had to be prompted and everything to say, yeah, no, it was bad. Right? Next one, bombing out Saliba.
I can't.
Me and you were both. Do you remember that game? I think it was Watford away. Me and you were there. You come over to me. You go, Robbie, look, Saliba's in the crowd. Saliba sat there amongst the fans. That's how much this guy wanted to play for Arsenal, that he was there away from home, sat there amongst the fans. Remember that?
Yeah.
You telling me that this guy's not good enough to get a game, right? We're playing Mustafi. We're playing Rob Holding.
I've answered that.
He's also bombed out Socrates. You telling me that Saliba can't get a game? It's like almost like what he's saying is this guy's no good.
I've already answered that. I've answered that in other things. I can't justify him not being in the team. So
New contract for David Luiz, who apparently he doesn't even talk to now.
Right. Even you turned around and said you actually can see why he gave him that year's contract. Because the idea of giving him that was to get rid of so many of the other defenders, which actually didn't work out because they wouldn't go. So I understood why he did that for a year. And I think a lot of fans understood why he did that for a year. And again, David Luiz at the back end of last season was exceptional for us. Do you remember his performance he put in against Manchester City in the semi-final? Absolutely.
FA Cup.
He still played Manchester City, but showed exactly what Mikel Arteta could get out of him as a player. So it was warranted and justifiable to say, yeah, you know what, a bit of experience, bring through some of the young boys. It'll be a bit of knowledge there for those, young lads that are trying to learn and develop. Yeah, that's a sensible one. But the idea was to get rid of Mustafi and Socrates and Kolasinac and everything else. And all these players had clubs and places they could have gone, but nobody, and I mean nobody, would match their wages. And the moment nobody would match their wages and give the player what they wanted, they sat there and went, nah, you're all right, I'm staying in London. Sorry, bye-bye.
Mustafi, new contract.
You even said yourself, the only reason why you, Robbie, don't even sit there and play that, all right, don't even try it, Robert. Okay, okay, listen,
Robert.
Listen, you.
All right, Derek.
All right, Derek. All right, listen, you yourself, right, turned around and even said the only reason why Arsenal were trying to do that was to try and sell him on and make a little bit of money back on him. It was the only reason why.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't pin a man down for something that you believe differently to. You said yourself,
new contract, keeping El Neni.
With the El Neni situation, I think that we had to use him at the start of the season because there were no players available. If you remember, he played the MK Dons game, first of all. We still didn't have most of our midfield available. Danny Ceballos, we didn't even know whether he was coming back to the club. Then we went into the Community Shield game against Liverpool. Same thing. Danny Ceballos was still not an Arsenal player at that time. We had nobody available and we had to play him. He played well. And a lot of people were saying, you know what? He could actually be a decent squad player, not starting 11, but somebody that you could have in and around the squad. And you tend to agree that he's not Arsenal 11. He's not prime but you go back to the Invincibles era, right? Right back to our most special times, yeah? There were players in the squad then that were not good enough for the 11. They weren't good enough to carry us to all of that glory and anything, but they were good squad players. They were players that could do a job on certain occasions and do certain things when required. And that's the same. Every squad has them. You look at Liverpool, the things that they're winning and everything else. They've got players in their squad who you go, not really first team material, but he can do a job. He can come in. It's like Divock Origi, for example. He will not be Liverpool's first choice strike force ahead of the likes of Mane and Salah, etc. Never going to be that. But yet comes into the squad, does what he needs to do, scores goals when he has to, and does those things. And that's the way it is, Robbie, with all squads.
You know what, right? What you should do tomorrow, go to Highhouse, an application.
You're breaking up, mate.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. Maybe they might offer you, you know what I mean? The way you're defending, right? We are 15th in the Premier League right now. We are 5 points above the relegation zone. Does this manager look like he's out of his depth? Problems left, right, and centre that even you yourself are admitting to. Dressing room in turmoil. Not creating anything on the pitch. Right? Is it time to make a change now?
No.
Bring in somebody else. How many more games is he going to look? We've lost 7 games. We've only played 12. We've lost 7 of them. If this had been Emery last year, you would have been banners out, everything.
What about this? Ain't Emery's first season. That wasn't Emery's first season, was it?
Yeah, but if this was you, listen. All right, wait a minute. Even if you look at 1 second, even if we look at last year, even if we look at last season, yeah, take the FA Cup out a minute, DT, yeah, take the FA Cup out. League. Did he do well in the league? No. 8th place. Had it not been for the FA Cup, we wouldn't even be in Europe this season. 8th. And then now, he's followed it up now, 15th. How can he stay in a job? Look at the Dortmund manager. He lost 3 out of his last 5 games. Gone. You justify how he should stay in a job right now.
He will stay in the job because he's being given the time to rip this squad apart and take out the poison that's in the middle, that's spread throughout the whole entire team, and it has done since the Wenger days. Do I regret, you know, the whole decision to get Wenger out? No, because that's where the rot started. That's exactly where it started, and the whole culture of allowing players to just do whatever they wanted and rule the roost within the club. That all started from them. That all started. And slowly but surely, it's seeping out bit by bit, and it just rots everything. And until you get rid of the core, it's like having an illness. You know, unless you get treatment to get to the root of the illness, you're never, ever going to be better. And that's the problem. It's a never-ending cycle. We're going to keep sitting here, sack Mikel Arteta tomorrow, bring in a new manager. For the next couple of months, everything could be fine. And then the rotten core will start getting their, you know, their mischievous ways in again.
But you know what? At least we'll still be in the Premier League. The way we're going, we could be playing Rotherham next season.
I've never been there.
Already in a way. Yeah, well, you know what? You might go there. If the way we're going at the moment, this is serious now.
Mate.
Burnley, who beat us yesterday, they were below us. They were in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
They moved out of the bottom 3. They're closing in on us.
Yep. I get that. But nothing's going to change. The manager will be given the tools to try and change this in January. I believe that he's going to be given the opportunity, and we're going to get rid of so much rubbish.
Sorry about that. You get rid of so much what rubbish, right?
The rubbish within the team.
Listen, DT, are you seriously, do you think, I mean, be honest now, when you look at Mikel Arteta, do you say to yourself, this guy is a guy that can lead us to titles in the future?
Yeah, I do still believe that he's the right man for the job. I do still believe.
Why? What makes you think that?
Because I do believe that he's the right manager, and I do believe that he is the one that can actually take us forward and get out the rotten part of this club. I do believe that he's the right person for that. All day long.
Why? I want evidence. You know what I mean? Give me some evidence of that. I know from your heart, I'm like you. I really, really want him to succeed. But the evidence in front of me does not suggest that. As I said, and we're currently 15th in the league. And we've just lost 4 games at home on the bounce. So I don't see the evidence. I don't see the evidence. Do you see the evidence?
Like I said, let's wait until January. I do believe that they will. They're going to try and get rid of a lot of this squad, and we're going to bring in new players, and we'll see what happens in January.
All right, January. What if the next 4 games or the next 3 games to January? Southampton at home, the game you was going to be going to, but obviously tier 3 stuff now, so they might have done you a favour there, right? But you won't be able to get to that. They're 4th in the league. They're flying. They're playing some brilliant football. Absolutely took Sheffield United apart with some great football. They're 4th in the league. Followed up by Chelsea at home. Yeah? Chelsea at home. They're flying. Playing great football. Great players. followed by, what's the game after that? That's actually just before that, Everton away. A place that even when we're playing well, we don't do well at. If he lost all 3 of those games, would you still give him the money in January to spend?
It's going to be difficult if you lose all them 3. But the one thing I will say with the Chelsea game, Chelsea have probably got a very good opportunity of beating us. And the reason why they've got a brilliant opportunity is because they only seem to struggle against sides in the top 10. They haven't beaten anyone in the top 10 this season. So with us not being in the top 10, means that Chelsea are probably favourites for that game. But Everton, our record at Everton's actually not bad at all, Robbie. It's actually one of our favourite places to go. Goodison. It ain't that bad at all.
We ain't got no favourite places to go, man.
No, I'm just saying.
The only favourite is London Cody, and even that's not a favourite no more.
What I would say is our bogey ground is Southampton away. Not Everton away.
Well, it's Southampton games at home at least, but...
Yeah.
But yeah... So, no, hold on, wait a minute. Our bogey ground is the Emirates Stadium because we can't win there.
Yeah,
We've won there for the last 4 games.
Yeah, it's not great.
You're not giving me no evidence. You're not giving me no evidence to say that this guy can turn it around.
I saw enough in the way that he got what he was getting, because you get that the players responding to a certain level when a manager first, comes into a team. And he was getting that from them. And then, obviously, the players all went back into their shells and done what they did. I'm not going to blame the manager. You can see it all going on.
This mistake here. This is what we have to put up with because of what's going on. You and there looking forward to the derby with Brentford next season.
Lovely new stadium.
Yeah, we might be there.
That's all right.
Listen,
I know Ivan Toney's agent, so I might actually get a nice seat.
Bro, listen, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can laugh and we can joke about it, but this is serious. I honestly, I'm
telling you, I've told you, I'm backing my manager, and I will still back him, and he will be given the funds in January. And he can start. I really want to see Mikel Arteta work with his own squad, his own players, not the rotten crap from years gone by. I sat and had a conversation. You know what? 2 conversations I've had with you. There was one after a Man City game, and I said that when Wenger leaves, it's going to take 5 years or so to repair all of the mess, right? And I even turned around and said that we're probably, at best, looking around a top 8 side, something like that. And I still believe we'll get into the top 8 this season. And I said that fans need to lower their expectations of that. And you were like, huh? Why lower our expectations? And I said, no, because it's going to take time to build. And I also turned around and said, after we lost to Liverpool that time, and that video first come out of me saying, when's it going to end, Robbie, and all that, I turned around in that one and I said that everything's been sabotaged and so bad under the last years of Wenger that when he leaves, it's going to be such an impossible job for people to take on that he will turn around and be able to go, well, I told you it weren't easy. Go watch the videos. I said it. I called it. I knew this weren't going to be easy.
It was never going to be easy. It's never easy when you come in after, a legendary manager like Arsene Wenger, and then Emery came in. But I have to say, the performances in the league under Mikel Arteta have not been good enough. And I'm just wondering if maybe when it comes to you, you've dug yourself into such a hole because you described people who are having a go at him as rats and things like that.
Again, you're not...
Now you're having to do everything you can to try and defend him and not see what everybody else is seeing, that it's looking like...
Oh, my God.
Arteta's out of his depth.
Robbie, how many times have I been on a show and explained to you the rat comment? Do I really need to explain it all over again? Did I say that if you want him out, you're a rat? No, I didn't. I turned around and said, I called the people that were being abusive towards him and being very evident in the fact that they want us to lose to suit their own agenda, rats. Let's get it right. Please, for the 100th time, please get it right. Those are the rats. Not the people that have an opinion. If your opinion is that you want him out, fair enough, cool. Okay, because I'm going to sit here. When it all does work out, I'm going to sit here and you're not allowed in my club. It'll be exclusive. Members only.
Yeah. I would love to see that. But at the moment, that is not looking like it's going to happen.
And you know me as well, Robbie, yeah? Is that I dug myself the massive hole with Arsene Wenger. I was the face of banners. People were accusing me of aeroplanes that I had nothing to do with, and I don't know, all kinds of holograms on stadiums and everything, yeah? But when Arsene Wenger got some things right, I said he got it right. I wasn't proud or, you know, stubborn to go, yeah, he got it right. He did the right thing there today. He did this, he did that. I said it how it is. And I say the same again. I back the manager and I believe that he's going to change it. What more do you want me to say? I'm not going to lie about it. People can call me deluded or whatever and this, that, the other. Yeah, cool. That's my belief. You know, I believe that these people are dickheads. Don't mean it's true.
I hope you're not talking about me, you know?
Nah, not you, man. You're all right. You're all right.
Yeah,
You're all right.
not. Right,
Yeah.
now listen. Let me ask you this. If we lose against Southampton on Wednesday, still keep him, yeah?
Yep.
If we follow that up with a loss against Everton, you still keep him?
Yep.
We then go to Chelsea. No, Chelsea come to us. We lose that. You keep him.
Yep.
So 10, if we had 10 defeats from 15 games going into the new year, January, you not only keep him, but you give him a load of money and say, go out there and spend that, son. You sure?
Yep.
Nah, come on, man. Oh, now you are sounding deluded.
I would. I'm sticking up. I'll stand there, man. I'm telling you, say it. Say it. I don't mind. I don't mind. Say it. Keep saying it, man.
I don't believe you. You would. So we lose every game from now till January. You still keep Arteta and give him money to spend.
I would definitely.
You there? He looks like he's frozen up.
I
not frozen up. All right, you caught. I thought you were so deluded.
I've been waiting all lockdown to do that to you.
That's actually the best thing you've done all night. Because for the rest of it, I was wondering is either you've frozen up or you've got a brain freeze. So you are joking then. You'd sack him.
Look, I think that with the pressure of everything, it would be very difficult to lose the next three. And I think that's
what would you do?
Well, the thing is, is there comes a point where the owners have got to look and say, can we manage through to the period we want to get through to make the change? Is it sustainable up until that point? We're so close to January. And, you know, ultimately, if we get to January and Mikel Arteta is still the manager, then the board have to back him. Because you can't carry on with what's clearly not working past January. You've got to go out and get the players that he wants to bring in. And you're either going to back him or you sack him. Make your mind up.
All right, let me ask you another one. If you was in charge of Arsenal Football Club and you got a telephone call tomorrow morning from Allegri's people and they said, listen, he's primed and ready, he'll come in. If you sack Arteta, we're here, we'll come in, we'll take over. What would you do?
No, not right now. Thank you very much.
If we lost against Southampton on Wednesday and you got a call from Pochettino's people and they said, we're primed and ready, we'll come in right now and take over. What would you do?
I'd say no thanks. You've won less than Arteta.
You get a call from Rafa Benitez's people. And he says, yeah, I'm ready. I'm here, man, and I'm ready to come in right now. No?
No.
All of those managers, and you'd keep hold of Mikel Arteta?
The only one that I would change and bring in is probably myself.
You are starting to sound very, very deluded now. I mean, let's go through some comments. Let's get a load of comments because
You carry on. You believe it. It's cool.
Loads of comments are coming in now.
Rugby
Football Podcast says, Robbie, it's the players, not Arteta. DT is correct. Arteta is good. He needs players who give a damn about the club. AFC Harry Spence says, sell half the squad, but none at the club had the guts to do that. Right? So Tony Jones says, we are never been so poor. Someone must take the blame. Arteta is first in the row. He's the manager. Everybody, I mean, you seem to be palming it. It's Xhaka's fault. It's Bellerin's fault. Kolasinac's fault. Ozil's fault. When is it going to be Arteta's fault? When's he going to take some of the responsibility? Where's the style of play? Why are we playing two holding midfielders against Burnley? Why? You know, answer some of those questions. I notice you choose to ignore those questions.
No, I was trying to read what you had on the screen.
I'm asking you a question. Why is he playing two holding midfielders against Burnley? What's happened to our style of play?
We don't have the attacking players. We don't have the attacking players at our disposal.
The same players used to do it. The same players I used to see passing triangles, stuff like that. Well, I don't see him even doing that now. I don't even see anybody taking a player on.
Bobby, what did I tell you? Right, first and foremost, the Wenger players that we have got rid of and ain't still got are probably the ones that we bloody need. Santi Cazorla could still do a job in this team. I'd rather Jack Wilshere come back than Granit Xhaka.
When's the manager gonna? When is the manager?
Wait, I was trying to read that.
I know you're trying to read. You know, you are just trying to deflect away from the fact that you can't answer these questions. Robbie says, "I get where DT is going. If we get relegated this season, we would be serious top 4 contenders next season." And he's got loads of laughing emojis. This is relegation form, DT.
I get that. Great. Next question.
This is relegation form.
Next question.
Right? What do you mean next question? You ain't answering any of the questions.
I'm not trying to check. I've answered everything you want to throw towards me. I'm not going to say no more.
All right, let's get through some more comments. El Jazz says, I love DT when he talks, but not today. I think Arteta has given him a check. He says, Arteta's got to DT. Alimel says a simple question. Robbie DT, what do you think we need to do to start winning games again?
Score goals.
Just score goals?
Well, yeah, that's what wins your football matches.
It just looks all around the pitch, DT. I mean, how are we going to score these goals?
Well,
because at the moment, that's the other thing. When was the last time we scored a goal?
Well, yesterday we would have bloody scored a goal if Xhaka never did what he did. We were doing everything right, apart from put it in the net at that point. But it was coming. In my opinion, it would have come.
Jesus, man. D4NT3 says, it's not Arteta, it's the players. Look at Good Evening. I think he's on about Emery there. He's 4th in La Liga, steady performance. Our players have no backbone. Silver says, what happens if the board don't back him? We all know what they're like. That's true again.
Yeah, I've said that. That's one thing that I can't guarantee.
All right. Unitone says the Southampton manager turned it around. Why can't you believe Arteta will? I just want to see some evidence that he is going to turn it around. At the moment, I'm not seeing that evidence. Liam says, play the kids. They deserve a chance. That's the other thing, DT.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he give some of these youngsters a bit more chance? I mean, he doesn't seem to want to take any risks with a lot of them, is he?
Some of them, no. Some of them, yes. It's a bit. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I think Reece Nelson would have been given an opportunity the last few weeks, and then he's got an injury. The likes of Saka and all that have been given good opportunities. Remember, they signed new contracts under Mikel Arteta. Martinelli has signed a new contract under Mikel Arteta as well. So I think youth will be given the opportunity, but just at the right time.
Okay, Iceman says David Moyes joined West Ham the same time Arteta joined Arsenal, and they're doing better than us. This team is dead. It's actually sad. Players are lazy. Have we got a worse team than West Ham?
At the minute,
player for player?
At the minute, yeah.
No, not at the minute. If you, at the start of the season, looked at West Ham's player for player and Arsenal player for player, who would you say would have the better player for player team?
It'd be West Ham.
You do anything. You do anything to dodge questions, man. Omar says the truth is the players don't trust the process. Arteta needs to go. What about that? I mean, we hear that a lot, you know, about trusting the process. But do the players trust the process? That is a good point there.
Some of them don't because they're past that. I've already said this to you. I've had this conversation with you.
San says, I like Robbie and DT, but DT, you need to realise Arteta is not showing any signs to get the best out of the players. What'd you say to that?
Well, you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
What was it again?
Is he showing any signs that he's getting the best out of these players?
Some of them no, but then some of them are past it.
All right, who's all right then? Who's, you know, out of all that, who's up for it?
You keep Leno, you keep Tierney, Gabriel, Partey, Saka, Martinelli, Maitland-Niles I'd still keep. I'd still give Joe Willock an opportunity, Reece Nelson, Balogun, Aubameyang. Trying to think off the top of my head, there's quite a few names there. But what we need is our Smith Rowe, there's another. But what we need and lacking massively is creativity.
There's a creative guy sat at home on Fortnite, not being given a chance.
Here we go.
Huh? Sundar says it's the manager's job to get a tune out of their players. Arteta is not doing his job. With current players, we might not be a top 4 contenders, but we're definitely not 15th. I think that sums it up brilliantly. Answer that.
What is this question time?
Yeah, I'll leave that one up for you. You keep saying you was going to read it. I'll leave that one up for you. Read that one.
We can't.
Yeah, read that and answer that. Because you seem to be, you know.
You shut up while I'm reading.
I'll read it for you. It's the manager's job.
I can read.
To get a tune out of the players.
I can read, yeah. Yeah, we're having a bad time of it at the moment, but we'll get back up.
You are sounding like Ty, you know.
No, respect my opinion.
I just think that you pin so much on this guy doing well.
Already said it.
That you just got to stick to him now, whatever.
Already said it.
Who had the better team to manage? Him or Emery? Who had the better Arsenal squad?
Don't know. It's pretty much the same.
You wouldn't say that Arteta's got a better squad of players, Arsenal players, to manage than Emery did.
Well, apart from Partey coming in now, but he's hardly been here and has
Gabriel.
been and Gabriel. But then, you know, who did Emery bring in? I'm trying to remember who he actually brought in. He brought Leno in. Torreira, Guendouzi.
Yeah. A lot of players that, Arteta's cleared out. Can't blame those guys. He got rid of those.
Well, maybe he'd be justified for getting rid of them.
Is he? Because we're not doing any better, are we?
I said maybe. We'll find out.
The things about it is, right, you're justified in getting rid of all these players if you're doing better. But we're not. We're doing way worse.
Yeah.
Let me just remind you that under Emery, we became 5th.
Hold on a minute. Someone just said something. Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, you really gone blank, and it's you don't really seem to
No. I'm trying to read.
Yeah. Take your time and read that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Hold up.
Yeah.
Trying to find it.
Let me know when you're ready for that. For the next question.
So it's amazing that you haven't put this one up.
Arsenal for Life says, DT, if Arteta was to stay till the end of the season, how do you think we're going to do in the Premier League or the Europa League, the FA Cup and Carabao Cup?
We'll finish in the top 8. This one here. When Klopp took over Liverpool in his first season, they only had one more point than us after 12 games.
You're comparing him with Klopp now.
I'm comparing a stat. I'm comparing a factual stat.
All right.
But what did Liverpool do? What did Liverpool fans do? They backed him. They weren't rats.
What was his comparison? Like how we're on stats. What's his comparison with Emery's?
I don't know.
That's closer to home. Let's talk about that.
I don't know.
Emery was doing a lot better than what we're seeing now.
Yeah, Emery also done better in his first X amount of games at the club than Arsene Wenger. Don't mean he was better, does he? Do you know? In the first 28 games of his tenure at Arsenal, Bruce Rioch had an identical record to Arsene Wenger. Make Bruce Rioch better, does it? Bruce Rioch wanted to bring in John fucking McGinley and replace Ian Wright. Behave yourself, man.
This is very similar to Bruce Rioch. What I'm seeing here at the moment. This reminds me of Bruce Rioch.
Full season.
This reminds me of Bruce Rioch. What I'm seeing here right now.
Full season.
Bruce Rioch never lost 4 home games in a row.
Hey, Robbie. Yeah, and Mikel Arteta didn't have Dennis Bergkamp, and he didn't have Ian Wright. And he didn't have the famous back 4 and David Seaman in goal and Ray Parlour and everybody else. Yeah.
Listen, man. Honestly, I have to say it does, it does seem like you're trying to. I get it. Yeah, I mean, you backed Arteta very strongly, but there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I really wanted him to succeed, and unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out. And maybe we need to go in a new direction. There's nothing wrong with saying that, DT. I know you're a very proud guy. I know you. When that
time comes, and I believe it, I will say it. But right now, I don't believe it, and I don't want to say it. And everyone can leave all their little comments about deluded or this, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. You can suck my fat one. Sorry. No. This is my opinion. These are my thoughts, and I'm going to stick by them. And if it works, it works. And if it don't, I'll hold my hands up and I'll say it hasn't worked. He's been given all the opportunities, and it was just not meant to be.
So you're giving him, because we're coming to the end of the special podcast. And by the way, thank you for everyone who's been involved in this, and amazing amount of people have been watching this. But you're giving him how long?
End of the season.
If it continues on like this, how long would you
obviously, I said to you that we do have to evaluate if certain things happen as you go along. But
when do you evaluate?
You have to evaluate at the end of December. Once we played our next 4 games.
All right.
Southampton, Everton, Chelsea, Brighton.
Right. What keeps him in a job out of those 4 games for you?
Didn't I say on the last podcast, I think it was 10 points out of 15?
Right.
So around that kind of figure, unless we can put a big performance in away from home at Everton and then win at home against Chelsea, which will really start to lift the mood and we see something different. So it all depends on the performances and who we beat or if we beat anyone, etc., etc. But it's a tough one, but I will, and look at that. Liverpool were in this position in 2010, scraping the bottom of the table. Why? Terrible owners and Roy Hodgson. Arteta is fine. The owners are not. So listen, maybe there's a lot of other.
Remember what happened to Roy Hodgson? Do you remember what happened to Roy Hodgson? He got sacked.
Yeah, and that's a Liverpool fan that's saying he weren't good enough, but Arteta is.
He got sacked.
Yeah, but he's saying that Liverpool, Roy Hodgson was not good enough, but Arteta is. So stick with him.
No, he didn't say Arteta is.
Arteta's fine. Stick with him. Stick with him to the end of the season. I've said that. That's what I want to do. I want to give him a full season.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, respect your opinion. Thank you very much. I just want to, just finally before we go, what did you make of the Europa League draw? Because even that, even that hasn't really worked out in our favour. A lot of us people have been saying, oh, don't worry, we can win the Europa League. Benfica, that ain't going to be easy.
Yeah, great crack. And we can't even go over to Portugal.
No.
I'm more gutted about that because we've had some great times in Portugal.
we have.
Yeah, so it's one of the toughest, but it's nice to actually, play a team that I can pronounce. So, we've got no troubles with that. Benfica, lovely. So, and that was a nice comment a minute ago by that guy that come up there, that you quickly get rid of the nice ones.
There ain't been many, mate. I've been helping you out on this, trust me.
Nah, you ain't been helping nothing.
I've been helping you out all night with these comments, trust me. You want to fag me.
I'm watching. Don't worry, I see everything. You know what I mean?
Anyway, listen, DT, thank you very much for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who got involved in this special podcast today about Mikel Arteta. We're hoping that he can turn it around. His first chance to turn it around. I mean, how will things be so different if come Wednesday we can beat Southampton? That would be the start of, us talking about something different. And let's hope the players can deliver that for him. DT, thank you very much.
Pleasure, man.
And thank you to everybody for tuning into the podcast today. Don't forget, you can download it on all your normal formats. And we will be back tomorrow. We're looking ahead to that game. Southampton coming to the Emirates. It's almost like I would have preferred it being an away game. That's how bad we've been at the Emirates. But something's got